Sort in so much as, yes, you're disappointed, and I'm sure, particularly in the light of the Ryan Taylor injury, that Alan Pardew on Thursday night, Friday morning tried to bend the owner and the chief exec's ear to try and get somebody in. It wasn't for signing's sake, according to Alan Pardew, and he was prepared to live with that. You know, but the other side of the coin is, I think an awful lot of people would also have been very, very happy that nobody left the football club, and it was almost becoming a bigger priority at one stage than bringing people in.
Well, we made such a big thing about holding on to everybody at the back end of last season. You know, we were convinced that, you know, during the summer, that people were going to come knocking on the door and offer this money and that money for certain individuals, Tiotti's, Cabay's, Colaccini's, Tim Krul's. And it was very, very quiet. There was no mention of them going anywhere. You know, not even in. There was the odd little mention here and there, but nothing real serious, Nick. So, yeah, I mean, pleased that they didn't go. I think the reason that they didn't go is because of the value that this football club put on it. You know, we know what they're like in the transfer market. If they value somebody who they're chasing, they value them at that. They won't go a penny over that. And so is the case with players here. They value these players at a certain price. And yes, you can have them if you're prepared to meet that price. If you're not prepared to meet that price, they stay here. So I doubt anybody was prepared to meet the values that this football club's put on the likes of Tiotti's, Cabay's, Colaccini's, Krul's. And that's the reason. That's one of the reasons they're still here.
Do you think after the event, and hindsight's a wonderful thing, but do you think after the event, maybe, because we are blinkered and we are biased, maybe we think more of these players than other clubs do? Maybe we talk up Tiotti and Cabay and Krul and Colaccini, and we, you know, overestimate them. And maybe the rest of them think, well, okay, they're all right, but you know, I'm not sure they're better than what we've got.
Possibly so, and I think to a degree we probably do that because of where we finished last season. You know, if we had finished 12th, 13th, would we have still said, oh, these players are worth X amount of money, and it's hugely important that we keep these players? I think because you see them week in, week out, you think that, well, you know how valuable they are to the football club. Now, I'm sure that every Premier League manager would have scouts watching Newcastle. I don't doubt that. Those scouts would report back and they'd say, yeah, he's neat, he's tidy, this boy, he can do this, he can do that. That we've already got, but maybe at the same time it's because they did finish 5th, and because we did finish 5th, that it may have been more difficult for other clubs to shift them away from Newcastle, because those same players might well have been approached with, hang on a minute, I'm doing all right here, I'm getting European football here, you know, am I going to get a regular game at any one of these clubs that want to buy me? I think the Euro Champions League football would be a big thing to any family, you know, and that's not running down the Europa League, but I just think the Champions League stage is the stage that all players want to play, all top players want to play on. But I understand the point that you make about if they go elsewhere, would they hold down a regular spot? Maybe not the rotation system and one thing and another at other football clubs. You know, because of the size of the squad that we've got, I bet you everybody would have picked that team today.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There wouldn't have been any, oh, well, maybe he'll play, or maybe he'll play, or maybe he'll do this. If you'd have said if you'd have picked 10 people, and I bet 9 of them would have picked the side. Tiotti might have been in if he had been fit instead of Anita. But if Tiotti,
he would have been.
Yeah, but if Tiotti's not fit, Anita plays, and the rest of the team basically picks itself. You know, so there's no real. We haven't got a real squad rotation like certain sides do. You know, you look at your Manchester United, your Manchester Cities, even your Arsenals and your Liverpools, they rotate on a weekly basis. We very, very rarely do that unless it's forced upon the manager.
Yeah. And the worry there is that, having mentioned the Europa group stages, against Atromitos, you can play the team that you've played against Atromitos and know that there's every chance and virtually certain you're going to get through over 2 legs. Against the Bruges and the Bordeaux, less so maybe Maritimo in Madeira, you know, he may well have to, you know, make less changes and do less fixing and matching, which again makes us vulnerable in either the Premier League or the Europa League, depending on what he does.
Yeah, not being disrespectful to the club, but the three sides that are in our group are far better than they were. You know, they'll be tougher getting him. Again, he will mix and match, but whether he makes the vast amount of changes that he did for those two games, I'm not too sure. It'll be interesting to see what he does. His main concern is the Premier League. His main priority is the Premier League. We've only played 2 games in the Premier League, you know. This is another big game for us today. I think we've already spoken about it. It's huge. We're vital that we win today.